It has been a minute since we have spoken, and in this video, I'm going to talk about what it is like to celebrate Christmas in Australia. Let me tell you what I mean. The number one reason why I wanted to do a video about Australia is because I grew up in a place where it was a little more festive on Christmas. Now, when I say festive, I mean it was just colder. And so having hot drinks, having all the Christmas things like snow decorations and all the songs being about white Christmas just made a lot more sense. And well, living in Sydney is not like that. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know, like high 20s right now in Celsius, so it's not very Christmassy to me. You know, it's Christmas time and it's supposed to be cold. I couldn't even wear a long sleeve. I have to change because it's so hot. Much better. I'm gonna tell you how I'm going to keep myself in the Christmas spirit even though it's so hot outside. So if you haven't figured out by now, Christmas is a big deal to me. Not only was I raised in a household that celebrated Christmas and went through all the traditions and made their own traditions, but I was raised in a Christian home and I myself am a Christian. And so Christmas is a big holiday for a lot of people, but for us, my wife and I and our families, it's about a lot more than that. Christ and the birth of Christ and being with family, it celebrates giving, is a time where we can really celebrate all the things that we have. Now, as an American coming from a place that has 4 seasons and has snow on occasion, I have a really strong connection to cold weather and all the things that are involved in this holiday. They're just things that make the holiday better. I have a 3-point plan in place to try to overcome this difference, to not miss Christmas at home. The first point of my plan is to adapt. What I mean is to take the things that I've celebrated and to adapt them to the place that I'm in. There are some things that can't carry over, like having snow or having to wear big coats. But one of the things that I've carried over is not a ton of people get real trees here.
People forgot how to have a fun, old-fashioned family Christmas and are satisfied with scrawny, dead, overpriced trees that have no special meaning.
And so we went out and found a real tree today, decorated that tree because that's something that I've always done back home. And so that's something we did today. There's a lot of those and I'm gonna keep adapting to try to carry on the traditions that I have. The second thing that I'm gonna do is adopt. Now, what I mean by adopt is take the traditions that are celebrated here, the traditions that Grace's family celebrates, and add them to what we already celebrate. This is really exciting because this is something I could have never done if I hadn't moved here and I hadn't married an Australian. If you have some traditions, classic Australian traditions that need to be done, or I need to do, or I need to know about.
And in Australia, where I'm from, instead of Santa Claus, we were visited by the Christmas kangaroo, who brought gifts for all the boys and girls.
Drop them in the comments below. I would love to look through those and maybe add them to my traditions. The third thing that I do is that I wanna make sure that I discover. Now, what I mean by discover is that I wanna be looking and seeking out new things to do that I've never been able to do or could ever have done where I lived before. The greatest example of this is going to the beach on Christmas.
And Santa Claus might be more renowned for guiding a bunch of reindeer behind a sleigh at this time of the year, but these guys in Perth show he can also surf.
This is something I could never have done where I lived because the closest beach was 5 hours away and it probably would have been freezing cold water at the time. And so it really wasn't practical to go to the beach in the middle of Christmas season. And so we'll get to, for the first time, experience going to the beach on the week of Christmas, which I think is pretty fun and it could be awesome. So that's just one example of so many things that are gonna be there to discover this Christmas season. Now the only thing to do from here on out is to make more videos about doing these 3 things.